Good morrow, good day, good afternoon. Welcome back to Sip and Sew. It is, what day are we even on? May 8th. Oh my god. This year has flown by. I am exhausted. Nothing unusual there. Shenanigans. Good news. Everything is as it was when last we met. We were working on our 1960s half apron. It is so lovingly still draped upon my dress form. I do have a few little random repair things we might try and do later. I have a hole in one thing and I had to go back and fix my straps on. Oh, I was so concerned. On my dress. I was so concerned this was supposed to be something, but it's not. It's okay. Scrap this somehow made it to the top of the dress form. But I hope everyone has had a wonderful week. I have done this much sewing all week. I have stared longingly into the distance and repinned this. So we'll do this later though. I want to finish this apron because we're on what, third day of working on this now. So obviously we're gonna finish it, and I think we're gonna go ahead and do the bandana that goes with it as well today, because that just sounds like a fun thing to do, and it will bring me joy. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to update you guys on from last time. Oh, I almost boo-booed. Very quick funny. I was sitting in my car at the gym, leaving, 11:49, right? I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, man, I know I forgot something this week, but what was the thing that I forgot? It couldn't have been that important. I was like, it is stream night, and that's when I remembered that I did not export last week's stream to YouTube yet, and thank goodness. The 7-day window is from the time the stream ends, and I started exporting it when I walked back in the door and logged into my computer at 12 crispy 30, so theoretically it'll be fine. I might check on the rate for that at some point during the stream just to see if it's doing okay. Otherwise we're going to have just a lot of faith in the system that it's going to be fine. It's going to be perfectly fine. Other than that, that's it. I did, for those of you that do follow me on Blue Sky, I did post a random, not even close to sewing related video the other day, just a gym progress thing. Because I've been trying to work my back to get a cute little Dorito shape. And I was actually very impressed with how wide my back got. There's still a healthy layer of fat covering everything, but we're getting somewhere. You can tell what's happening. So that's been exciting. Let's see. What is it? Oh, Mother's Day is coming up this weekend, so to anyone who has children, happy Mother's Day early. I will be at my mom's house. I think we're having burgers, hot dogs. I panic bought my mom's thing last minute, but I did buy it. I got it. I purchased it. It's on the way. It should be here before I have to leave the house on Sunday. If not, it's okay. It's not like she lives 20 billion years up the road. That would definitely complicate the matter. But one quick update on the apron from last week. So after we finished last week, it was after 3 o'clock in the morning. I think it was somewhere around 3:20. And I was looking at the edge. I was like, man, there's a lot of extra fabric hanging off, like, up here at the top. I was like, there's no way that's supposed to be like that. So I trimmed it, like an idiot. And apparently we're at the point where we're supposed to fold that over and sew it down. Fear not. I fixed it. It's okay. Oh, hello! Oh, God! Chat pause. I'm aware chat paused due to scroll. Oh my God. Hi, welcome! Thank you for the raid. You were so sweet. I got spooked and jump scared. And my phone got spammed with notifications, so that's super fun too. Hello! It's so good to hear from you. I hope you're doing well. I am trying to map out how we're going to do everything today. Thank you so much for the rate. I appreciate that so much. You have no idea. I know I'm blushing. You probably can't tell, but I definitely am. You are so kind. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to Sip and Sew. It is casual sewing and fixing things night. We're on part 3 of working on this apron that's behind me pinned up. It is a 2018 reprint of a 1960s McCall's pattern for a half apron. So very exciting. We're on the finishing throes of this, and I was just talking about how I boo-booed last week a little bit. Right. I'm so glad everything lined up. I have been trying to just find ways to stream at other points during the week, and it is just not working out. Between work and just doing like live stuff, it's not working out. I love all the little emojis. Those are so stinking cute. One day I'm gonna figure out how to do that. It is not today though. That is not the vibe. One day I will. One day this will be my life. This will be the day job. Been manifesting. Started picking up the books again for that. Getting into the good witchy stuff. But the groove is getting there. I will say I am always looking forward to Friday morning streams. These things always bring me excessive amounts of joy. I'm so scared to say your username out loud. Oh my god. I hope I'm not poop on my poop. I am impressed you were able to get that username. Is that toast exploding? That's so freaking cute. Yeah. I don't know how you got that username. I am so impressed. Good for you. That's insane. Actually, I've already been using the pockets on this bad boy to store the pattern like a boss. But a little bit of a close-up. So if you saw any of the dressmaking, I can't remember if I streamed any of the dressmaking stuff, but I had, God, it must have been 10 yards of this, maybe. Thank you. It is so stinking cute. I love it. I had, God, I think 10, 12 yards worth of it, and I made a whole dress. The whole dress that I threw haphazardly to the side. Oh, stretch. So I got this whole thing out of it. This was self-patterned. Come on, Jen. Right way around. There we go. This was a self-pattern. It does have pockets. I can't say the pockets work the best, but they're there. I learned a lot about making pockets with this dress. Thank you, dude. The pockets on the apron, it wanted me to sew the middle one down. I was like, ew, why would you do that? Because there's a pocket, and a pocket. And the way the instructions were written was to sew across the middle pocket. I was like, no. I'll keep all of my pockets. Thank you, McCalls. That was wild behavior. We ain't got time to not have pockets in this day and age. Where else am I going to put my secrets and my trinkets and my rock collection and my spare incense? Can't just be leaving it around in the boot. But yes. So all that is technically left to do on the apron is fix the edge. So this is not raw. Attach the waistband. Finish the edges of the actual, the tie bits. We don't get enough pockets, as is the foot. Now, yeah, exactly. Every single pocket. More pockets. Everything needs more pockets. How else will we take down the patriarchy? How else? Okay. So I had to read this thing over, I think 5 times the other day. Again, it was 3:20 in the morning. I was reading. I was like, I don't understand what's happening. We're gonna have to come back to this. But apparently, what was supposed to happen is there was originally about another, like that much on the edge of this, and I foolishly trimmed it like a goober. And what was supposed to happen is it was going to get folded over and stitched down. But the good news is I did not take off too much, so we can still stitch it down. It's just not going to be a whole 1/4 of an inch, I think. It's going to be closer to 1/8. And that's okay. I wonder if I should... I think I'm going to be brave and make a little snip right where the pocket starts at, so it's a little bit cleaner of a fold over. Everything can be fixed with stitches and seam rippers though. Everything can. If you wish really, really hard. Yeah, snipping was the right call because that's gonna look pretty laid down, so that's okay. Thank goodness. I hope no one over here is expecting professionalism, because this is a screw it, we ball corner. We ball. Occasionally yell Kobe. I don't know, kids probably don't do that anymore. I still do it in my own home. It's very important to me. Also trying a new lo-fi playlist today. Not that I got tired of the other one, but I'm trying to expand. Love to play some Baldur's Gate background music, but I'm sure that would be just acid rain and hellfire for playing it. I don't know, sometimes I haven't looked into it really hard, just haven't had the time. But I follow the Twitch subreddit, and someone was in there saying that they even had their video game stuff muted at one point. I was like, that's wild, friend. That's actually wild. Oh my god. Apron, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. So for the people that are new still hanging around, I stream just every Friday morning from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. EST. So if I ever look like I should be if I ever look death incarnate, that's why. I have a terrible sleeping schedule. But it works. I was naughty and made a coffee today instead of a tea, though. I just did not foresee this going well without. Okay, perfect. I think I might do one other thing right there. Okay. Okay, so this is what we got. We are... I love a lurk and eep. Yes, thank you so much for bringing everyone over. I'm so glad you stopped by. I hope you have a wonderful evening and get pleasant amounts of rest, and your pillow is the exact temperature that it needs to be when you go to sleep. Because I'm a cold pillow sleeper. I imagine someone out there is a warm pillow sleeper, and so I try to include our buddy in the process. But here's where we're at right now. Front of the apron. This is folded over now. It is adorably pinned on the back side. And one thing I'm gonna do just to help reinforce the pocket a little bit at the top, because I foresee this doing a weird baggy thing, and not that I would hate having this little inner piece showing. I know it's going to get on my nerves in the near future. You're very welcome. I try to send out good vibes whenever I can. been upping my personal practice to make sure I've got energy for everybody. So far it's working. I do feel more energized. But what I'm gonna do while I'm gonna start this up a little bit higher, so before I actually get to putting the stitches in this, I'm gonna tack the edge of this down so it's not gonna flop open as much when it gets weighted stuff put in there. I think. I certainly don't have to, but I think I'm going to. Because when I put my finger on it, it makes sense. So that's what we're going to do. But first, I'm going to go ahead and pin the other side, unless I forget. Then we will be of the sad. And see, I must have known I wanted to do that anyways, because I put the pin on the other side through that top piece. Past Jen knew what we were doing. But we are going to undo this to give it a little snip. And honestly, there was probably a marking on here somewhere saying that I needed to snip this and I just missed it. And that's okay. Experience with what? I get the wildest Reddit notifications when I'm on here. It's... Oh, okay. Siri. I don't know who that is. I'll have to look up that later. That is from the fun subreddit. Okay, that's a little more than I meant to do, but it's okay. Close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades. I wonder, does anyone know where that saying came from the first time? I've heard it for forever. I'm pretty sure my granddad used to use it all the time. Is where I picked it up from. I've never thought to look at where it originated from. Also, if you hear my tummy rumbling, please forgive. I'm in a calorie deficit and we're having big feelings about it. Big feelings. You best be sure I still put milk in my coffee. Oat milk though. I had a lactose thing for a while. Switched over to oat milk. It's been a good time. But this shouldn't take too long. I'm so excited to be done with this. The reason I picked this pattern to go ahead and do first was, one, it looked genuinely pretty simple, and two, it's moderately a necessity. I have 2 functional aprons. Both of them that I pilfered off of my mother, mind you. And one is her, it's gotta be from the 40s or something, Mickey Mouse one. And it's white with red accents, and it's got not original Mickey Mouse. It's like, what era was that? 60's? I think. I want to go with the 60's. What year did the one come out where he climbed the beanstalk to fight the giant? Whatever year that came out. It's that animation. That one's, that was the 60's. They have that one. She been looking a little ragged. The other one is a Christmas one with Santa's on it, which is great for Christmas. And I love my Mickey Mouse one for most of the other times. I like a variety. I want to have choices. And this is just obscenely cute for summertime. And when I'm making bread and stuff, I don't want to wear a full apron. This is a little bit more my speed. Move all of my tiny humans, trinkets and dolls and things, and readjust my life, because I've got almost the trifecta of drinks. Almost. I did have tea earlier today, so I think we should count that. I think we should count that. Put that down there. was nowhere near as organized today as I thought I was. I don't know, the energy's been interesting the last 2 days. A little weird. It's like, because we're coming out of the full moon, but it was just orange the other night. I posted a picture on my blue sky the other day. When was that, 2 days ago? Because the moon, it was just orange, glorious, but it was already past full moon time, so I don't know what that was about. It's just been weird. Weirdness. I think my dog's been extra reactive, and I thought she was gonna, you know what, I know I put needles on that side, but I really want to top stitch this. I'm gonna make my life so hard and top stitch this without moving the needles around, because why not? Ooh, there's vocals in this. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, we'll let it go. It's fine, I'm sure. Alright, let's get this started. Just be mindful of where my needle is. I do have more exciting projects coming up soon. I have 3 sewing patterns coming in the mail tomorrow that I ordered off of the eBay. One is a Beachcombers kids pattern for windbreakers and like windbreaker pants. There's a head off of the Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so glad you got so much use out of it. More aprons. Aprons are the best, but I'm hoping I will have this for 20, 30 years and my child will be pilfering it from me at some point. That would bring me the most joy. But have a good night. Hope you get plenty of rest and everything is wonderful for you on the morrow. I am trucking. What was I saying? Oh yes, patterns. One is the Beachcombers kid stuff. I had bought a traditional raincoat pattern to make one. And then I went and looked at the cost of vinyl. And to find just plain, yellow, classic vinyl. Insanity. So I said, screw it, I'm just going to buy a new pattern. It was cheaper than buying more fabric in the moment. I'm just going to push this through without crushing my finger. That's fine. Okay. I'm sure that bunched on the back end. And that's okay. Because we can work with that. That is okay. No cause for panic. Yes, I got that, and then the same person was also selling, what was the other thing? It was a jogger pant that you could use linen fabric with, and have this really pretty green linen that they want to be pants. I talked about this on my last stream. Sometimes I look at fabric and it just calls to me and tells me what it wants to be. The green linen wants to be pants. I also would like to have not jeans, because right now I'm down to one very ill-fitting pair of jeans right now and several yoga pants. It's time for an upgrade. So that's coming, so that's exciting. And the third pattern I think I'm the most excited about. I'm obsessed with sweaters, hoodies of any variety. And same person, I can't remember the username, I'll have to post it in the chat and look for it at some point. A 90s, I can't believe I'm about to say this word, retro sweater pattern. And I love the fits. I love the fits. I think it's technically just unisex. They had men and women drawn onto the front with it. But it's very baggy in the sleeves and like the underarm area, and I love that for my silhouette. I think it looks really good. And it was a Camp Beverly Hills pattern, and it came with the iron-on that says Camp Beverly Hills. I'm so excited because it just looks so cool. It's a very, very exciting moment for me. And this is gonna be a pain because I decided to do this a different way, but it's okay. Before I do that one, so you guys can see, that does look a little jank. Actually, I think I'm gonna hold that thought. I'm gonna do just a little touch of a fixeroonie, because I foresee that ripping open really far, so I'm gonna throw a really quick zigzag stitch in this just to keep it from doing anything stupid in the foreseeable future. I love tossing a zigzag stitch in a boo-boo. Assuming we caught it. We did, so I'm just gonna scooch it over a little bit. Because I'm gonna be the one wearing it. I don't mind it having a little booby spot. I will mind if it starts to come open while I'm in the middle of baking, though. Awesome. So now we have finished edge here. And I top stitch it from the front, which to me just gives it a cleaner look. I think this is too damn bright. Hold on. Oh, there we go. No better. Top stitch down, and then here is where I fixed my little boo-boo piece, because I snipped it just a little too much on this side, and so I tossed in a hair of a zigzag just to get it right. Now we're going to go and do the other side, and then we can go back to the instructions and party on. This is going to be so bad. I have to work tomorrow, but I really want to stay up and watch a movie. I have been craving nostalgia. Beetlejuice specifically. I don't know why. I have the DVD just sitting out. I don't know. I feel like I need to watch it. I'm also craving Practical Magic a little bit. I don't know. Could be something in the trees. Been listening to a lot of Lydia the Bard lately. Highly recommend if you like some feminine power music. I would toss her in the same vein as Paris Paloma and, God, what's that woman's name? Kiki Rockwell? Sounds right. Alright, awesome. That is 2 finished edges that are mostly straight. Okay, so now we have no more ugly raw edge. It is folded over. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Ka-chow. Now, back to the instructions. Let me push this out of the way, because I think we're going to do a lot of pinning here in a second. Holy crap, my feet are cold. I thought to myself, I'm going to open the windows, because it's cool outside, and the house is still kind of warm from earlier today, and it's going to be fine. Well, my toes are cold, but you cannot ask me to put socks on in the house. No. I would rather freeze. I'll make an exception when it's like 40 degrees outside, wintertime. Then you may catch me wearing socks indoors. Or if my iron's that low and I'm not getting good circulation, then maybe. Okay. Alright, did that. Press, match, stitch. Check. Okay, Unit 2, waistband tie-in. So I had already done last time. I technically skipped ahead a little bit. I went ahead and attached the ties to the waistband, so that part is done. So we're now on to the next bit. Pin wrong side of apron to right side of band. That may sound very silly. I promise it makes perfect sense because it is exactly how we did the pocket. And it's essentially going to be a fold over situation, and it's going to give it a really pretty clean edge without having to do any weird folding around on my part. Pin wrong side of apron to right side of band. Okay, so I think how I was planning on doing this last time, because I had pre-pinned the band onto the dress form, is just slide it up. Because the only thing that we have to make sure that happens in this, move these pins because I don't want them there. So this one. Oh, come here, darling. I can't remember if I named the dress form or not. Jenny from the block, maybe? It's actually what my friends used to call me in college. I had no idea how, like, I don't know, cool that was. Well, I was no longer in college, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. They actually work at this person. Alright. Somehow I lost some gather in here. And that is mildly going to muck up the next part of this process. There we go. I say mildly, so if there's a will, there's a way. All about ripping the seam. So last time what I did was I pinned the waistband to make sure it was even all the way around. This dress form is ideally pretty freaking accurate in my body in the moment. So the way we're going to pin this is the edge of this that we just sewed is going to line up with this stitch edge here, and there's a matching one on the other side, and it will look glorious. But basically what the instructions are saying is to pin the top of the wrong side of this to this. So we're going to move it from here, and you go boop, and stitch it on there. Wait, somehow that doesn't make sense anymore. Hold on. Wait. I don't think that's going to make sense anymore. Hold on. help me help me make this make sense. Alright, third question. Where are... Okay, I'm not crazy. My marks are on the top of this. Okay, I'm not crazy. I did mark my fabric, as one should, according to the pattern cutouts. I'm just trying to figure out how this is going to look pretty by the time we're done with it. Because we're on this picture right here at the top. I'm just having a really hard time contemplating the concept of this today. It made sense last week. That was also last week, Jen. She might have had extra 2 brain cells to rub together that I don't today. Also, this is the mug of the night. It's good soup. Okay, hold on. When in doubt, read forward. Okay, adjust gathers, fit, baste, stitch. Okay, so we're going to fix the gathers, we're going to pin this up here, we're going to base stitch it, so we're going to do one really long stitch across the whole thing just to make sure it stays still. And there's a cat in a basket. All that's going to do is make sure that the gathers don't go all over the place when we put in the final stitch. And then we're going to fold, band, and tie ends in half lengthwise. So then this is going to get folded. Trim seam. Press it toward the band. We're going to gently fold it in the appropriate direction. Fold, band, and tie ends in half, lengthwise, right sides together. Oh! Okay. This is about to be so much stitching. Okay. So it's going to get pinned. And then we're going to trim. And then we're going to fold this way. How are we going to fold it in half lengthwise, right sides together? I would just pin it and call it a day, but this is the point where I, like, if I did, it would be not right. I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to turn it the right way back around if I'm already stitching it pretty sides together. I feel strongly this is a typo. I feel so strongly that this is a typo. It has to be. It has to be. There's no way. There's no way. Because right sides together would be like this. But then how do you expect me to turn it out? Because it's going to be attached to this. You know what? We're going to pin it. We're going to base stitch it. And then we're gonna pretend through the rest of it to understand what is happening. I think it's magically going to make sense once we attach the two things together. So that's what we're going to do. There's also the possibility that I need to turn the waistband upside down. If it wasn't directional, I wouldn't care so much. Silly cat, big silly in box. Okay, it has to go this way because it has to go to the top of this. Because otherwise this part's not going to make any sense. Because when we pin this way, alright. We're going to figure this out together. So my first thought is perhaps what's going to end up happening is I may have to turn the band upside down. Is the first theoretical. The second is the instructions truly are written incorrectly, which can happen. This is a reprint of something from the 60's. Who knows? Not I. We're just doing the best we can with what we got. And that's all we can do. You know? No point in getting worked up over it. Definitely saying that for my benefit. Definitely. My own craziness. Okay. So we have those bits lined up. Excuse you. No one gave you permission to just flop around. Excuse. Okay. So now we're going to go around and just straighten out, not actually straighten, even out the gather. And toss a couple more pins around before we throw in this basting stitch. I'm just trying to make sure I don't accidentally pin this to the dress form because it's going to make me super sad if I go to pull this off and it's stuck. Let me see if I can pan y'all that way without him freaking out. There's a cat in a basket. Boy. Other way. Hi. Yeah, caught you in 4K being cute. Actually, it's probably going to render out to 720 because, you know. Yeah. I'm so sorry to disturb your groom. Heaven forbid. funny note about that basket. Neither of the cats would lay in it when it was on the floor. Wanted nothing to do with the basket. The minute the basket made it to the couch, they were like, oh, a basket. I'm not pretending to know their ways. I just get really excited when there's a cat in a basket. And somehow still, this side needs to be gathered more. Shove, shove. Tug, tug. I'm very curious if anyone else has had some rough sleepless nights lately. Just like weirdness, general weirdness. Oh my, it's been weird. I had like dreams that make me wake up and just go, Made me very uncomfy. And irritable. Not towards anyone in my house. Definitely external factors. Minimal external factors. And yet here we are. And yet here we are. Plaguing me in my waking hours. Oh. Try to change that back. Go ahead and stretch the length out. I'm not sure how I bent that needle that hard, but I'll get a pin. That one and that. Okay. Alright. Basting stitch. This is just to hold everything together so we can figure out how the rest of this stupid pattern's supposed to look. We're gonna kindly call upon the elders. Read, my grandma, bless her. I forgot to trim something. In memento. Ein Moment. Okay. No, I'm gonna trust myself. I'm going to trust myself. We're gonna put the basting stitch really high up so it doesn't interfere with anything else, I think. Because it doesn't say, I don't remember reading a note saying how far to do the base stitch at this point. Because sometimes it's noted in there and sometimes it's not. Let's scooch it down just a hair. Okay. Like I said, this is not meant to be pretty at all. This is literally just to hold it in place. And to finalize the gathers. I'm very excited. The more that I do gathering, the more I really like it. Call me a weirdo, but it's kind of fun. I've just been doing it with my regular foot. Like, I don't have a gathering foot to do it with. That'll be a future purchase for show, just for fun. Alright, whoever's doing the how many times did we get poked today count, go ahead and start it, because that was one. That would be funny. I would love it if someone did that. A gen poke count. Then we could take an average on if it happens more on coffee days or tea days. I hated probability and statistics in school. Like, I didn't even take a straight class. My freaking AP Cal teacher was like, you know what we're gonna do for the rest of the year, guys? Probability and statistics. And like, love my teacher, still love my teacher. I was very unamused. I don't even remember if it was extra credit. I don't think it was. It was just, heaven forbid we relaxed. He was like, oh, you guys are going to be going to college after this, so you should probably know what you're doing, right? And I'm like, I would like to think that we already knew what we were doing, sir. Like, we literally just, did calculus. Like, what do you mean? Somehow that man was still one of my favorite teachers. Okay. It's basted. We're going to ignore the hey stitch it down now part, because we are going to try and do the folding that it's saying to do. Ouch. To see if I need to rip this out and move anything around. Hopefully not. Okay, so I'm going to hold it like the picture. So I've got this and this. And this is like this. Okay. I did pin the wrong side of the apron to the right side of the band. That is real. That happened. Adjust, baste, skip stitch. Trim seam, also not doing that right now. Also not pressing it to the band. Fold it right sides together. I think this is very wrong. I don't think it was supposed to be right side. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to say there's no way the instructions are right. I'm refusing to believe the instructions are right, and we're going to do it the way I want to do it, because the instructions are dumb, and they do not make any sense. And that's that. Because this is not, I thought this was going to be a thick band by the time it's all over with. It's not. It's going to be very thin. For as thick as this part is, we're only going to get a third of that is going to be the actual band, based on what I'm looking at. Which is fine. I'm not complaining at all. It's just, it's deceitful in an okay way. I'm so sure this is a misprint. Okay, so I'm gonna do it like it says to show you why I'm pretty sure it's a misprint, and then I'm gonna do it what is probably the correct way. So it says to fold the band and tie ends in half lengthwise, right sides together. Which would make it look like this. Okay, so here's the front of the apron. Alright, this is the back. Now I do think that this front stitch of doing this way was correct, because it is using a similar paths to what we did for the pocket. The pocket did the same thing, except it folded forward a different direction. So what I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say is, granted that I'm going to lose my whole little seed packet thing at the top, but that's okay. What I'm going to do instead, because it makes more sense, is to fold it wrong sides together, about a third of the way down. Point to you this way. So you're looking at the front of the apron. So instead of folding this backwards, as the instruction said, I'm going to fold this forward about a third of the way, like that. And now, mind you, this is going to get trimmed down here, this little flap bit. Because then the next step is to fold it over again to encapsulate that raw edge, and then it gets top stitched down, and now you have beautiful border. I'm gonna mark that now because I guarantee you I'm gonna go make this again and I'm gonna forget, and I need to mark it because this is just the bottom half of the apron that has the bib on the top. So I will need this again. And I promise it's going to be okay on the tie-ins too. Where's my pen? How do I not have a pen over here? Whack. Okay, pin rock. We're going to leave that. Wrong. Sides together. We're going to immediately put this backward. I'm not going to worry about putting in the 1/3 note because I have enough brain cells to remember to do that bit. But I don't want to have to stare at this for 20 minutes the next time I make an apron. Between last stream and this stream, it probably took 30 minutes altogether to understand what was happening. My eye's twitching. Okay, so now that we're going to use altered instructions, going to do this up here. I'm also going to, actually the first thing I'm going to do is pin, I want to go this way, so that way I'm not, right, do I want to sew it this way? No, I want to go this way. So I have less stuff under the actual sewing machine. So I'm going to go ahead and do the final stitch to get these two things together. But what I'm also going to do is take the lower end of the tie on either side and go ahead and fold up the bottom so it's matching where I have this section basted right here. So where I have this seam up here, I'm going to go ahead and give this a gentle fold over and stitch it down so it'll kind of match and it'll make sense when we go to do the rest of it. Not in the instructions at all. This is freeballing 101. Do what makes sense. Doesn't make sense? Granted, this may be the part where it says to put the right sides together. I understand everything now. It's not a misprint. I didn't think this through. I misunderstood what was getting folded. So when I said to fold it in half, it was actually talking about literally doing what I just said. Folding it this way, because then when we flip it, the back edge is gonna come back over and go like this. God, I hope that made sense. I am lovingly annoyed. Yes, I am trying to understand this for the 100th time. One more time. Sorry, I just feel like in my heart and soul, if I stare at it long enough, it will magically make sense. It's not making sense at all. Why would you do that? Because this picture looks like that picture. Like, how would you even invert that once it's stitched in? You can't. You physically can't invert. Somehow, the way this reads is I would magically be able to turn it inside out. I'm just gonna do it the way that makes sense for me, otherwise I'm gonna cry. No pattern is worth crying over. That's for sure. So we're back to the fuck it, we ball part. Yeah, so I'm going to pin the, I guess it'd be the top part. I'm gonna pin this what I'm looking at is the bottom edge of the tie over and give it a little quick stitch down so it looks pretty. and lines up with the other stitching that we did. Because I do think that was supposed to happen and I just did not understand that that was supposed to happen. Maybe that'll make everything magically make sense. I don't know. What I do know is if I have to go over 2 hours worth of streaming tonight, I'm gonna finish this stinking thing. God, where does the time go? And no, I'm not measuring anything. I am folding over with my heart. And listening to where the fabric wants to be folded over it. Because it does. Know what it needs to do. Just listen. I'm going to stitch this down really quick. Actually, nope, because I'm going to have to stitch across anyways to set that in. Yeah. Just keep pinning, just keep pinning. Just pinning, pinning, pinning. Dooby pinning, pinning. Yeah, okay, trimmed. Trimmed and gently pressed open. And then we keep the folding over bits. Oh gosh, something else funny that I saw on the Reddit today. So, I go to Planet Fitness for my gym needs because it's convenient, it's cheap, and it's right there. And someone made a post and they were like, guys, it's summertime. Dun dun dun. Because apparently that all the high schoolers are coming in now. And they're like, oh, is anyone else already ready to complain? And blah, blah, blah. I'm assuming it wasn't based on the verbiage. It sounded like a man complaining. And a boomer at that. Maybe someone my age that just really isn't into kids. Oh, they were like, who else is ready to start the complaints and like going to the front desk? And like, bless one person that was an employee was like, y'all, it's really not that bad. At least they're not outside doing dumb stuff. I'm like, that's, yeah. That's valid. Because at mine, I get the, like the kids that have their night permits, or they'll have one friend that has their full driver's license and the rest of them are. They'll come in. It was just, to me, it was mildly entertaining because half the responses were, you're right. And the other half of the responses were, my dude, they're literally children. Doing better for themselves. How can you complain about that? I'm a big old lurker on the internet. I do not announce myself unless I absolutely have something important to say. That is not my style. my machine likes it. So I love it. I won't say my machine's the most finicky thing in the world, but she is a little particular about what goes into the feed. Now, instead of taking this off to do the final stitch in here, I'm just gonna go from where I'm at. And it's not quite a stitch in the ditch process. It's pretty dang close. It's more of a follow the basting line to the best of your abilities moment. And do your best to make it even. I don't think there will be much to trim by the time it's all said and done. And that is okay. Again, I'm the one wearing it. I'm not pressed about it. Side. So close to the next free ball and step. Okay, see, I will get that later. I promise that pin that went flying is out of the way of cute tiny cat paw areas. Alright, hopefully my idea for this tie thing works out okay. I'm still feeling pretty confident. Still have coffee in my coffee cup, though it is just a touch cold. Which girl likes iced coffee anyways? Back. Forward. Okay. Okay, so here's what I did, because it made the most sense to me. I did not follow the instructions at all. So we're back looking at the front again. So this is where we had done the basting stitch, and that is officially stitched down. And then I went straight across into the tie area and pulled up the edge. So it should look plenty finished by the time we're done. Okay. And the next step where we're not following the instructions at all, I'm going to fold this over really quick. So we're going to fold the wrong sides together. So I think we're just going to go straight all the way over to here. All the way over to our raw edge. And then it'll get flipped one more time to be like this. And so it's going to give us, I don't know, that almost looks a little chunky. Because I like how this looks, but I have to roll this edge under to get it to do right. I don't know. Let me marinate on that for a second. So if I do it that way, I'm gonna lose so much of the gather lines. Like the root of the gather. I don't know, I really like the root of the gather. Okay. Pro tip, doing the tie first makes more sense. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to fold it over so the two raw edges meet on the tie section, and then we'll fold it over again so it looks like this. And we'll kind of repeat that on the actual band part that's connected to the apron itself. The question is, how much stitch to how much pin is this going to take to make sure it looks good? I think I'm just going to freehand it and not bother putting pins in it for this part. And I'll finish the ends of the tie when I'm done. Yeah, I'm just going to freehand it. It is not worth pinning all of that down to just match up two raw edges. Yeah, we ain't got to do all that. We do not have to do all that. Okay. Start on this side still. So I'm not shoving the whole apron underneath the sewing machine. Because that is just not fun for me personally. Okay, see, now the folded over all the way almost makes sense. I just hate how it looks. And I like my way better. So I'm just going to keep doing it my way. Honestly, I encourage you, if you're doing a pattern and something just doesn't look right and you think there's a better way to do it, just do it. Just do it. It's your pattern. Especially if you're the one that's wearing it, and it's not going out to anybody else. Just do what makes sense. Life's too short to freak out over this stuff. And I'm saying that for my benefit as much as y'all's. I yearn for Halloween. I yearn for Halloween so much. It actually smelt like fall outside today. I think it's just because someone was burning wood. And it tickled my funny bone just right. It's very good for me. Oh yeah, I didn't trim that. Oh. Not a whole lot to trim. I would be so worried about accidentally cutting a stitch. It is honest to God not enough to trim. it's gonna get hidden under the band anyways. Started reading a new fictional book series. So my sister was letting me borrow. It's a three-part series. The first book is The Bear and the Nightingale. Finished that the other day. So good. So good. And I started the second book, The Girl in the Tower, today. And the way it picks up, coming off of the first book, is so stinking good. Like, just the transition between events that are happening. Oh, man. And I'm glad my sister recommended it to me and let me borrow it out of her personal library, because it resonates with me on a soul level. Alright, so far this is going according to plan. Minimal hiccups. Scoot. Scooched. Okay. Alright, that is folded over in a way that pleases me. It is all about what I want, what I like here. Alright. So now we have what looks like a very backwards band, and that's okay. That is by design. Now, we do the next fun bit of folding this hoe over. Okay, this I am actually going to pin, because I want it to look pretty. This is the part where the top stitch is going to show. So we do want this to actually look nice. So instead of pinning this from the ties, I'm going to pin it from the apron part first, and then I will go back and do the ties. I want to go just like that. Oh, and the seams match up. Hooray! That is a good feeling. Let me toss this in here and I'll show you. It's probably one of the parts where it genuinely doesn't matter if the seam matches up or not. But this seam here matches this seam here. I am pleased. Ah, what a good day. And Vincent's coffee. Also, I made coffee today, and I haven't stabbed myself nearly as much as on the nights where I drink tea. Coincidence? I think not. I think it's a sign. Coffee is the way. And to be fair, do not fret. I will still be able to fall asleep in a reasonable amount of time. Coffee does not hit me that hard anymore. I don't think. Either that, I've just gotten really good at willing myself to be sleepy over time. I'll probably read a little bit. When I get a book that I really, really love, I get sucked in. It gets bad. It gets to the point where I'll be sitting here trying to do my day job. I'm like, dang, I could be reading my book right now. Could be doing a mental adventure. Oh my god, I forgot to actually look at that app. Who was it? Oh god, Hollywood Soul was here last time, and they recommended an app that was like better than Goodreads. I think was the basis of it, and I downloaded it. I downloaded it last week on stream. It's like, I'm gonna look at this, and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and then life happened. I feel really bad about not having a review of how I like the UI. Okay, this side doesn't line up as pretty, but it's okay. Oh, was that? Oh my god. There are things happening outside. Owls have an opinion today. My goodness. It's new. I haven't heard the owls that loud this lately. Early in the morning. What in the world? It's spooky out there, yo. Could be because I'm spooky though, and they're like secondhand spooky vibes. Man, I live in a suburb. It can only be but so spooky, right? Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Jill has not aroused from her sleeping area to inform me of shenanigans, and I'm pretty sure the cat's still asleep in the box, so it's fine. It's a good rule of thumb. If the animals aren't freaking out, it's probably fine. This is not a guarantee. Do not take my word for it. Oh, I don't want this to be, I want it to still be like an angle. How far in am I going to have to fold this to make it pointy? Let me take out that pen real quick. I almost forgot about the raw edge on the tie. The tip. Okay, my almost perfectly well laid plan has a light. Okay, if I fold it like this and then fold it down, how stupid is that gonna look? Incredibly. Okay. Alright, how do we deal with this? This is the way. Okay. This is the way. Shove, shove. Through the zinnias. This little cheek. Set maybe pin through it the right way. Go in, down. Adorable. Pin the hell out of it. Okay. have an idea of how this is going to look. So here's a side of the tie. And I put a pin all the way over here because I want to make sure that this actually gets folded down the right way. And so, and then we get all the way down to the apron bit. And now it is folded over like this. So it looks cute, like it's supposed to. Now I'm going to finish pinning this tie, and then we can saddle up for the evening. And figure out what if we do anything else. Because it is 2:32. Honestly, I might take an easy day working tomorrow. You know what I haven't done in a while? Freaking yoga. I don't do it often. I normally just use it for stretching. If I feel like I'm not getting a good enough post-workout stretch, I'll get something really intensive. That usually does the trick. I follow Yoga with Adrian on YouTube. She's my favorite. I will say some of her older videos, they're rough. And not in a bad way. It's just, if you, like, she goes quick. And when I was first started watching her channel, I was like, Jesus Christ, how am I supposed to keep up with this? But now that I've been doing it for a while, I can watch the older videos and go, yes, okay. But I really like the monthly videos. Like, I think this month is Renew or Return. I thought the Flow series was really good. That was actually very helpful for me, personally. And there's some really good breathing exercises on there, too. I think my favorite one I've ever followed with was Fire Breath. And it scared my dog. And she warned in the video, she's like, it may freak your animals out. Be warned. And I was like, it probably won't be that bad. They were reasonably wigged out. Because it's like, you're breathing so hard, so fast, that it sounds like you're hyperventilating. You're not. And the animals were like, you're dying. Like, no, I'm just regulating myself. It's very different. Okay, well that's not doing like I want it to, so that's got to come in. Breathe, pen's. Yeah, we're so close. We're almost done with this. I can taste it. Just cutesy little fold over. There we go. That's it. That's the spot. Okay. Got it. Okay. Now we can sew this shit down. Yes. Good. Good. Get that fall in my lap without hurting myself. Ouch. Add a poke to the boat counter. Here's how we start with the corner. We're going to go to the top and give it a very nice little top stitch to keep the edge down. We're going to gently guide in the middle. That out. Success. That far. Go in so we can pull this up and turn without mucking anything up. because I feel like I'm about to lose it. Definitely need to come up a little bit, otherwise I'm not going to catch the back of it when I get closer to the apron. That should be good. This was definitely worth not following the instructions and just kind of doing my own thing. I still think I'm getting to the same spot that the instructions wanted me to get to, just with a lot less crying. I'm just trimming loose threads as I get them. Oh, make sure that's not folded over. That would have sucked. Okay, we made it to the other side. We're down to the other tie. You can tell I'm excited because it's speeding up. Okay. Ow, mother. That one almost went through my thumb. So close, guys. We're so close. 3 pins. It's going to be a very cute wiggle. Ouch. 2 pins. 1 pin. Okay. It's done. Make sure I caught everything. Success. Okay. Okay. Huzzah. Okay, hold on. Make space, make space, make room. Excuse me. Yeah. I say it would have been the worst thing to put this on and realize the ties weren't long enough. We're good. There's certainly not extra to wrap it around, but it does tie. And it's done! Okay, probably tie this a little bit higher. I don't want to flash off. Let's go up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Ah! She's done. With the pockets. Alright. Excellent. Okay. Oh my gosh. Freaking exciting. This is so good for me. Okay, I love it. The pockets, massive. The fit, great. I think it'll look very cute with my dress, to be perfectly honest with you. She's done. I want to make an outfit for the just to wear this. Okay, I'm really sad at taking it off, so I'm gonna leave it on. I'm just gonna keep it on for the rest of the stream. As it's done, I'm going to go ahead and at least go ahead and put the stitches back into the straps of the dress, so that way I can wear that maybe this weekend. I don't know. We've been getting a lot of rain. It rained all day today, and I'm so thankful because I've got lots of flowers in the garden that definitely needed it. And then also, I tossed out some baby carrot seeds, or what are they, like mini sweet carrots? And I think the birds ate some of the seeds, but I think there's still some left. And those suckers need the wet. So I'm hoping they got enough of the wet. Okay. Alright, all this needs is a very, very quick top stitch. Right? I top stitched this, right? Yes, I did. And all that was wrong with the dress was one strap I managed to just completely twist. Like full on, not directionally appropriate. And the other one I managed to put in at an angle wild. And it messed up the whole thing. And it made it crazy thin. Or no, crazy loose is the word I'm looking for. I don't know why I said thin. And I stress about my straps, so this is getting 2 rows worth of stitches. And well, I probably could do like the traditional X you see on workout clothes and stuff, sports bras, whatever. But the best part about this dress is it sure did make it a whole round through the washing machine already, and it didn't fall apart. I have 0 complaints with this creation. That's my personal marker of, is it good enough? Yeah. Did it make it through the washing machine one time without needing major adjustments? Good. And I can say it is done. Oh, good. You gotta be kidding me. And, of course, the music is over. Shenanigans. I wish it would just restart itself. You know? But not my program, not my monkeys. Just think that's a missed area of opportunity for epidemic sounds. But what do I know? Just a small-time streamer. I'm just a girl in the world. Okay. Dress is 100% done. The straps are still janky after this. They can stay janky. They can stay janky for a while. Until something happens and I have to take the straps off. Alright, that's done. And I can go back to the bedroom because that just came out of the wash yesterday. Man, what do I want to do? I still have a couple of farmhouse squares, but I don't really want to do that right now. Kind of put that project on hold for a little bit. I think I want to go ahead and cut out the bandana pieces with you guys. Where's my pattern book at? Did I stick it back in the thing? Flip side. Kid pattern. Workout thing. Ah, there it is. Huzzah. See which piece is the... Okay, we want the bandana without the cap on it. I am not a capped bandana person. Oh yeah, that cap thing was like, it started with a T. Started with a T. I'm gonna find it. "44 updates." You gotta be freaking kidding me. Okay, well, all of those updates look important, so I guess they could all update right now. Where? Oh, I don't want recently updated. I want... Yeah, let's go by least used. That'll make it show up really quick. Story graph. It did not start with a T. Story graph. I'm gonna do this while we do that. Copy. Hang on passwords. No, I do not want. I would like to test new features early. I do like beta testing. That brings me joy. Yes, you can send me notifications. No, I don't have anything to import from Goodreads. Alright. That's going. Now I need which pieces for the Medana. I was not expecting this to take the whole scarf. Whole 2 hours. With yapping my heart out. Okay, we want scarf view 4. Because apparently scarf view 6 has different pieces. In is a square. I am very excited for the square. I am actually going to use the pattern instead of just cutting a straight square. Because why not? As a treat. And I need letter N. I'm sure that won't be too hard to find. Okay, these are the pattern pieces for the bottom part of the apron, so those can stay together like that. Like P M P. That's the other scarf piece. Ooh. N. That is an N, and that is a very large square. I think I have scrap fabric that I can use for this. And if not, I will happily Frankenstein some pieces together to make the square. But who's wearing it? Me. Do I care? Nope. Not one itty bitty bit. Oh my god, if I could cut a straight line, that would be great. Oh, I see. It just started playing random songs instead of focusing on the playlist. Whatever. Alright. Alright. Whoops. Probably won't actually sew this today. I think we're just going to cut this out and get it prepped for next time. We're going to cross our fingers that the Twitch guys exported last week's video to the YouTube so I can release the hounds. Okay. Now that I know there's no extra this way. Shoot. Alright, so everybody's favorite game. Get the pattern back in
container in a reasonable way without tearing anything. It looks silly while doing it. Alright. Folding, folding. Folding, folding. Aggressively folding, close enough. Ka-chow. Alright. Trim the rest of this edge off. Then I think we're gonna call it for the evening. I'm gonna go stick my apron in the kitchen. Pretty sure it was cat snoring. Or the ghosts. Oh man, maybe I should tell you guys about some of my spooky stories next time. I have real ghost stories. Seen some stuff. Experienced some things. It'll be a good time. So this is the only pattern piece for the scarf that I'll be working on. One fat square. Love her. Actually, I think I have fat quarters that'll fit this. Or no, it's bigger than a fat quarter. I think this might be my new favorite thing. Potentially. Okay, let's see. Place, grain. What are the markings here? Fold line. So I think, in just looking at this and not reading the instructions, I think we do the whole, I don't know, are we going to fold it in half and then do the same line? That's just for shits and giggles. Oh yeah. Alright, we're going to do a quick instruction read and figure out what this is going to look like next time. And next time we'll do a cut. Maybe work on, God, there was something else I was going to work on too. Well, next time I'll have the new patterns. So, I might do the raincoat in my own time because I'm going to need that sooner rather than later. Okay. Apron, apron, apron. Apron. Oh, maybe we'll do a bag too. That's... Scarf, okay, cool. Fold. Right sides together. Right sides together, stitch raw edges, leaving an opening to turn. Got it. Trim seam in the corners. Turn, press, slip stitch the opening. So we'll get to hand stitch a little bit. Cut ribbon for tie ends and half. Turn under one end. I love how simple that is. The bag's pretty simple too. Anywho, we're just going to focus on this. As far as ribbon goes, we're going to use the orange. So now I have plenty of that still. So we'll use the orange for that. And I think that's going to be a wrap for today. It is 3 o'clock for moi. And my body has processed the caffeine in a wonderfully quick fashion, as it normally does. So, one more peep at the glory of the apron. I will be posting pictures of this to Blue Sky this evening, because I simply cannot wait. Why should I? And this is so nice. I wonder how much heavy stuff I can put in here before it looks weird. Can I fit her tablet in here? Hold on. Testament to how cool these. Stop it. And to me, this is an okay amount of foldage over. If this ever irritates me at some point, I might just do an extra stitch to help keep it a little bit more taut. But oh my god, you can't. Pockets. You want to know what makes a person happy in life? Freaking pockets. So like the pockets are big enough to hold a whole whatever size tablet this is with the case on it. So like book, phone, magic wand. We can fit everything in here. It's gonna be a great time. Okay. I think that's everything for today. So anyways, next week we will do the scarf. It should be very quick. We'll do the scarf. Maybe we'll work on the linen pants. Maybe we'll do that. Because I would like pants sooner rather than later. I do need to start working on more tops too for myself. Maybe we'll do some tiny human things. And like I said, the raincoat I will probably do in my own time. Because just with the amount of rain that we've been having, the raincoat we have fits. It fits fine. I want to get it done. Make sure I have the right lining for it though. I think I have something that'll work. Anyways, I'm gonna call it for today. Thank you everyone so much for watching. It was a blast having you guys. Shout out to Inume? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but shout out to them for the raid today. That was absolutely a wonderful surprise. I think that's a wrap. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, wonderful weekend whenever you are catching this. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!